All right, let's do this. All right, so I start off with the points 0, 0, 0, 0, -3, 1, 4, 8. And you're like, wow, never seen anything like this. Can't do this problem. I'm ready to give up. Yep. Before I do that, though, Mr. Wilderman, you know what the formula of a circle looks like?
Yes.
What does it look like?
So, x minus h.
You're not going to have your calculator for half the test, right? Just for the record,
yeah.
just so you know. All right, go ahead.
So x minus h.
I'm going to say x plus h because that's what I wrote on my formula sheets. That's what I'm going to do. Squared.
Plus y, or yeah, plus parentheses y plus k squared equals r squared.
R squared. That's interesting. What can I do with that?
Well, x and y is your center or your line.
Oh, plug in a point, see what you get, right? You get the answer, right? So I plug in 0, 0. Now I get h squared plus, let me explicitly do what I'm doing. So 0 plus h squared plus 0 plus k squared equals r squared, agreed? And if I do that further, I get h squared plus k squared equals r squared. With me so far?
Yeah.
How many unknowns do I have there?
How many unknowns?
How many unknowns?
3.
3 unknowns. Now, if I have 3 unknowns, how many equations do I need to solve that?
Is it? Wait. 4?
3 equations, 3 unknowns, right? So if you can write me 3 more equations, we got this done. Or 2 more equations, we got this done, right?
Yeah.
Now I just plugged in 0, 0. What else could I plug in?
-3 1.
Let's try that one. So I would plug in -3 plus h squared plus 1 plus k squared equals r squared. This is going to be not fun to simplify. Why?
That's a foil.
I'm going to have to foil that little gem, but I can do that because we're advanced math students. So, heard a laugh. What was that? -6h plus h squared plus 1 squared plus 2k plus k squared equals r squared. Oh, that is awful. What have you done to us, Max? All right, so I've got 10 minus 6h plus h squared plus 1. No, it's plus 1. I combined like terms already. That was good. Got that out of the way. Plus 2k plus k squared equals r squared. Oh, it's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But there's only 3 unknowns there, right? So I need a third equation. What am I going to do for a third equation?
4 and 8.
Plug in the 4 and 8. So over here, I'm going to plug in a 4 and 8. So the exact same thing. I get 4 plus h squared plus 8 plus k squared equals r squared. Agreed? Oh, Lord. Here we go. 16 plus 8h plus h squared plus 64 plus 16k plus k squared equals r squared. You're thinking, this cannot get worse. This did not get me in the right direction at all. May I posit a theorem? Sometimes we got to try something, right?
R squared is equal.
So which variable or which construction of variable, what should I substitute into the other equations?
R squared.
R squared. In fact, R squared is written in all the equations, right? That's going to be a piece of cake. It's not that bad at all. Let's do that. So if I do that, I'm going to get 10 minus, and by the way, I'm plugging it in, right? So I circle it. I'm going to plug it in both immediately so I don't make any mistakes. I'm going to get 10 minus 6h plus h squared plus 2k plus h squared equals h squared plus k squared. Wow, this is worse. Or is it?
It's not as bad.
Why not?
Because you can cancel out the h squareds
Wait, that's a k squared there.
and the k squareds.
Well, that's interesting. So now I have an equation for a what? That's a line, guys. And what am I going to do to the other one? Same exact thing, right?
And then because they're both equal to 0.
And then we can set them equal. I wouldn't do that. I'm going to isolate a variable, plug in the other one, right? Or I'm going to have my calculator and do the matrix form of this, right?
Sure.
Yeah. With the squares, it wouldn't work. But once I got out of the squares, there's no reason not to do that. We're pros now. So I've got this, and I'm going to go 16 plus, let me add those two. I got 80, is that okay? 80 plus 8h plus h squared plus 16k plus k squared equals h squared plus k squared. Those go away. And I get 80 plus 8h plus 16k equals 0. Great. Now what?
You're going to find the equation on the board and
Isolate a variable in one of the two equations. Which one do you want to isolate for? I have a choice I like a lot.
The first one on the board.
And which letter?
K.
Okay, at least you didn't pick the worst possible choice. These all have 8s in them, right? It would be kind of nice to get rid of all the 8s.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. We'll do it this way because we are capable of doing stuff like that. So I get 10 minus 6h is negative 2k. Divided by negative 2, I get k is equal to negative 5 plus 3h. Agreed? Plug in the other equation. I got 80 plus 8h plus 16 times, yeah, you couldn't have picked worse. This is terrible. Plus 3h equals 0. Great. I'm actually multiplying what you did by 16. Good job, everybody. So I get 80 plus 8h plus negative 80 minus 48h equals 0. Okay, but something really cool happens now. Look at this. And I get negative 40h equals 0. So h has to be what?
0.
Negative 40h equals 0. What do I do?
16 times 3 is 48.
H equals 0.
Okay, but I got 8 here. And it doesn't even matter what this number is because anything divided, 0 divided into anything is going to be what? 0. Once I have that, I plug it in here. What's k? K is negative 5. And once I have those two, plug it in here. And I get 0 squared plus negative 5 squared equals r squared. So r squared equals 25. So my final formula is going to look like x minus 0 squared plus y, that should be plus, sorry, y plus negative 5 squared equals 25. And I'm good to go. Now, that's the hard way to do it. A bunch of you drew a circle until you figured it out, which is fine too. Nothing wrong with that. If you play with these enough, that can happen. This is the brute force. I can do it no matter what they do anyway.
I mean, you can do algebraically the same, but circle.
Oh, this is really difficult. Circle way is the way most people did it to do the right.
These ones, the makeup one was
That's it.
the circle. Yeah, I know that's you can do it algebraically, but like doing it like this would be quite hard because they were like, yeah.
Yeah, but that's how most people. Most people got this right did not do it this way. They actually drew a circle until they found one that worked.
I tried doing that, but I
Equals 4y minus 16. Agreed? Okay, so I need to half the middle term. Negative 2 squared would be plus 4. Agreed? Whatever I do, I got to do over there as well. So I got x. Oops. I don't get that at all. I get x minus 2 squared, right? Because that's what happens when I do clean the square. Over here, I'm going to get 4y minus 12. Agreed? Now, I can't have a number in front of that y, so I must extract it by factoring, correct? So I get x minus 2 squared equals 4, y minus 3. Agreed? 4 has got to be a 4p, so what is p? 1. So I need a 1 in there. So I got x minus 2 squared equals 4 times 1 times y minus 3, and I've got my ready-to-go form. Where's my vertex, by the way? I can do it directly from this now. 2, 3. So I'm going to set up my graph paper. as a point 2, comma 3. There's my point. Now it's x squared, so therefore it opens either up, down, or left, right. Which way? Up, down. And my foci is going to be how far away from my vertex? 1. It's going to be up 1. So there's my foci. And I can get my next 2 points by going double that left and right. 2 left and right, and that's all I expected for your graphing setup. Make sense? Okay. Ooh, number 6. I have x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 8y plus 11 equals 0. Agreed? So I'm going to move everything on the side. I'm going to get my x minus 4x, my y squared minus 8y, and move my negative 11 to the other side. Oh, sorry. Half a middle term. Negative 2 squared plus 4. Half, I have 4 here. Half a middle term. Negative 4 squared. Okay, you probably said I just hear that. Okay. So that's going to give me over here a 9. We got x minus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared. Agreed? Now, looking at that, I should at this point recognize this as a circle. Even if you didn't, and turned it into an ellipse, it would just be an ellipse with a this way 3 and a this way 3, which is a circle. You know, that's what would happen. Okay, so if I recognize a circle at this point, I would go crazy and just get out my graph paper. Color. So now on your graph paper, I was a little tricky. Unfortunately, it's because I ran out of space. It was 2, 4, 6, 8, right?
Yeah.
Try not to do that too often on the test. And then, so therefore, my center would be at 2, 4, right? That's right there. And what's my radius? 3. So that would be 1.5 boxes this way, 1.5 boxes this way, 1.5 boxes this way, 1.5 boxes this way, because it scales 2. And I draw my circle.
Like a pen cap.
Good?
Wait. Where did they come from?
I have to go 3 because it's radius.
Mine's still 1.5. Oh.
Because it scales 2. I screwed up the scale. My apologies. It happens whenever I run out of graph paper and I can't quite get it in. Now, be aware on the test, I might very well might not fix my graph paper. You might have half a circle on there. I don't mind at all messing with you that way. Don't expect me to move the graph paper so it all fits nicely on the picture. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just mess up and I forget what I'm doing. Anybody else? Questions?